Hi everyone and welcome. In this video we're going to talk about the candlestick charts. In case you're very new to trading and maybe you're only seeing stock prices on Google Finance, Yahoo Finance, where there is the line chart usually used for describing the price action, you may be new to this kind of chart. For everyone else, maybe you already seen them. You can see them also here in this background for this slide. And why are they important? What we can infer from them? They are the basic indicator for every trader who wants to be able to read price action. So, what this video is about, we're going to cover what is a candlestick chart and how it differs from other different charts. What information is provided by a candle usually, what are the different kind of candles that we can have, and reading price action. So what is a candlestick chart? We've seen it. As I said, you may be used to this different kind of chart, like the line chart, which represents usually the closing price at a given time of the stock, and you can see it in a sort of line going up and down on a chart. In the lower part of the chart here, you can see the volume, which is usually represented with bars. That's another important indicator, but we're not going to cover it in this video. Another different kind of chart that I haven't seen used by many traders, to be honest, is the bar chart, as it is called on TradingView. And this already gives you more information, because for each bar that you see, you can see there are two ledges, little tiny ledges, and you have, in this case, the entry price, like the opening price and the closing price. The range of the candle, of the bar in this case, shows how much the price has gone up or down after the open and where it closed. There are also weird candles sometimes. Weird, I mean not very user-friendly, I would say, that are used for very specific reasons. This is, for example, the Akinashi, and this candle chart shows this kind of chart actually shows the trend of the stock price, and it's different from the candlestick chart. So, as we were saying for the bars chart, candlestick chart provides for each time frame. So this is a 5-minute chart, but it can be 1 hour, 1 minute, 10 seconds, whatever, daily. It shows with the candle 4 specific bits of information: opening price, closing price, high price, low price. Usually, for me at least, it's easier to read rather than the bar chart, and most traders use candlestick charts. What information is provided by each candle? A candle is this shape, and it's called a candle because it has a body and usually 0, 1 or 2 wicks, depending on the shape, and they can be green usually or red. But you can have them also in other colors in other charts. Sometimes there are like hollow candles and full candles representing candles that open low and closed higher, or open higher and closed lower. In general, a green candle means that the price opened at a given price and it closed at a higher price. A red candle opened at a higher price and closed on a lower price. Each candle has always an open, close, high and low. Same if it's red, doesn't change. All the high and the low are the same, just the open and close are actually reversed compared to the green ones. This one means that the price started here, maybe moved somewhere here, went higher, closed here. Same for this one, it opened here, maybe tried to go higher, tap at the lower spot, and then closed at this price. There are different type of candles, and each one tells a story about the struggle and the battle between the buyers and the sellers. There are a lot of names for different types of candles. I would like to make a statement here that I'm not going to go through every single possible candle name that you're going to see online. This for a specific reason. I don't like to overdo candle analysis since it's not science. It's just a convention. It's a name that you give to something that has a given shape. What matters the most is the story that the candle tells you. It's not like this is a hammerhead or a hanged man. The difference sometimes is so tiny that doesn't really make sense to differ from them, at least in my opinion. You have also to keep in mind that the candlestick, so each candle provides quite a lot of information, but not all the information that you need in order to understand sometimes what would be the outcome of trade, since many factors that can influence the price are not shown in the candle itself. We can think about level 2, we can think about changing fundamentals, different things that the candle doesn't show. And most of all, keep in mind you will never know where the price will go. The only thing as a trader you can do is to make a guess and make sure that statistically your guess has a positive outcome. Let's dive into the different kind of candles we can have. The candles that I've shown before are usually defined as big bullish candle and big bearish candle. Don't mind here that the size is different, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that there is a big body compared to the wicks, and for the green price, for the green candle, this means that likely, it doesn't mean it has to be like that, but likely the price opened here, went lower, shoot up and pulled back a bit before closing. I say likely because it can also be that the price opened here, shoot up to here, came back down to here, and then finally closed here. It's unlikely, but it can be. There is no way to tell from a chart which was the story within a candle. You can see which was the open, the close, the high and the low. That's it. Same for the red one. We have an opening price. Maybe the price shoot higher, then went to a certain low and recovered a bit before closing. Since they are very full and directional, these candles usually provide sign of which part, so the buyers or the sellers, were in control during this candle. In this case, clearly it is the buyers, sometimes referred to as the bulls, and in this one is the sellers, sometimes referred as the bears. The Marubozu is a similar candle, meaning that it gives the same information, so clearly it shows which part the buyers or the seller were in control. But it's a candle that basically has only the body, there is no wick. It's a clear and strong sign of bullishness or bearishness, since basically once the price, the candle opened, the price never went lower than the open, and it never went any higher than the close, meaning that it basically closed at its high. Same for just on the contrary, for the red one. And these are quite clear. Other candles can be instead very different in interpretation, depending on not only their name, but their shape and the context in which they are. So candles like these are called Doji, and you can tell they are Doji since they have a very little or no body at all, like in this case. The price It means also that the price went higher and lower from the from the opening price, but ended up closing basically in the same area. This can mean different things. For example, I'm not going really into detail here, but just to give an idea, where the body, let's call it like this, of the candle is roughly in the middle, like in these three scenarios, it means that there is a lot of indecision, because clearly the price managed to go up and down, maybe by quite a lot, but ended up closing at the same price as it opened. So there is not a clear winner here, no? In other situations like this one, this is very bearish, because basically the price opened, it shoot up a lot, and ended up basically where it was at the beginning. That's not a sign of strength, at least in the move to the upside. Usually it is quite a sign of bearishness. So and on the other hand, a candle like this can be a sign of bullishness, because basically the price tried to drop, reclaimed the price, maybe even went a bit higher, or it went higher, then dropped, and then reclaimed the price where it opened. So clearly, even if the buyers lost the battle a bit during the candle, they managed to reclaim the price at the end. And don't be fooled by the color, because this can be red or green, just depending on if the price closed right at the same price of the open, or just a bit higher, a bit lower. That's not the point. The point is not the color of the candle, the point is the shape of the candle in this case. Then we have a similar, but not the same. These are a bit more directional. These are embers and shooting stars, usually called shooting stars or reverse hammers, like this one and this one. Clearly, the idea of the hammer, it's pretty easy to understand. You have a long wick and a small body, but still some kind of direction in the price in the end. So even though the price moved a lot, you clearly see that it closed lower than it started. This can also suggest different scenarios. For example, in this candle here, it means that it opened here lower, went very high up, then closed above the entry price, the opening price, but still not by much, and this is still quite a bearish candle, even if it's green. Similarly for this one, which is red, this is clearly worse than this, because the price went lower by quite a lot. Also in this case, you see there is no wick, so clearly it shows that the price reversed, for example. Imagine it's going higher, then peaks and comes back down, and most likely doesn't stop here. On the other hand, hammers like this, even if one is red and one is green, this is clearly more bullish than this, but this is bullish as well, also depending on the context. The importance of candlestick is that they tell a story, okay? And as the price evolves within a candle and one candle after the other, this story can tell us what was the price action, no? And how the price moved, how the buyers and sellers stacked up to try to push the stock higher or lower. And it's possible to base your entry, stops and exit based on this chart. You can have no indicator whatsoever, and still the price itself and the candlestick and their succession, one after the other, can tell you a lot about what's going on and what is the most likely direction that the price is going to take, if there is one also, It can also, different candles and their succession can tell you whether there is going to be a movement in the price. And we're going to see this better maybe in another video where we'll discuss more about patterns. We have introduced them in some other videos I made, but just briefly, and maybe we can go more in detail next time. Just to quickly show you something different. Okay, this is an example of Tesla, in this case, and given all the information I explained so far, you can start to understand what is the price action and how is it moving, the price itself, and what may happen. And for example, we can see, for example here, just at the open, we can see that the price dropped from this low of this candle, dropped down, tried after it opened to shoot higher, came back roughly the same price, and then rejected, went lower with this kind of elongated hammer. Then it followed an area of indecision here. The price was moving, but almost was moving a lot within a candle, but not really if we can take into account the open and closing price of these three candles. And it rejected here with this shooting star, and it made it to break lower with a very strong move signed by this full candle here, bearish candle. Then again a sort of indecision area. Firstly here, where it basically bottomed here, open here, came up, went higher, came back down, didn't manage to actually go down here. It did it here, but almost reversed immediately. Then we have this candle which proved that it went lower but reclaimed the price, so still undecided. Then clearly there are other aspects here that come into play. Like if we put this trend line here, we can see that maybe, or we can turn on the EMAs, and we can see that basically the resistance in this case is provided by, most likely by the EMA or the low of this candle, which served as a resistance for this one. And so clearly you can start understanding what's going on in the price if you start reading the candles as a sort of story. And that's what I would suggest. And that's it for this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. And if you liked what you see and you want to see more, perhaps push the like button, subscribe to the channel. It helps. More people are going to see it, and maybe if it's useful, if you think it was useful, I think it's a good thing to do. Thanks for watching, and see you. Bye bye.